Hello, mic test. 1, 2, 3, mic test. Guys, wala pa sila.
Good afternoon, sir.
Wala tulatan tagamay sila.
Sige, sir.
Okay, so wala na may mapas. So yeah, so good afternoon. We will be discussing the first our first topic now, our first module sa Calculus 2. Okay, so I hope you read our syllabus from our previous weeks. Okay, kita ka-meet because of our activities, no? And of course, our references. So I already attached some supplemental video from YouTube na siya. And of course, our discussion will be provided also. Online discussion natin nga na-record will be provided sa inyo. Okay. And so, just adjust my screen. Yeah, so can you see my screen? I think it's okay now. Yeah, so first we will be discussing the integral concept or the concept of integral calculus. No? So we will be learning the first two formulas and properties of integration. So first section, we will define what is an integration. No? So during the previous semester, so in differential calculus, so we learned how to find the derivatives of given functions. So we use the process of finding the derivatives, which we call differentiation. And now we will learn another process that of finding the function when its derivative is given. So this new process is what we call integration or anti-differentiation. So ito yung kabaliktaran ng differential calculus, which is the integral calculus. So the following table shows the relationship of the two above mentioned processes. So let's observe what these two processes are, inverse of each other. So for the given function, so process natin is differentiation and yung output natin is derivative. And for the derivative, yung process natin will be integration and yung answer natin will be the function. Okay. So the table shows that the given function we use differentiation to find the derivative. And on the other hand, given the derivative, we use integration to get the known function. So for example, we have here, if the given function is y is equals to 5x squared plus 7, with the process of differentiation, we can get this derivative, no? That is y prime is equals to 10x. So yung ano natin, wait, just get my tools. Saan yung annotation dito? Oops. Mali. Mali. Hanap ko yung annotate. Ayun. Ayan. So, yung ginagawa natin dito is simply yung exponent natin lalabas natin. So, yung function natin will become y is equals to 2 times, of course, yung 5x. Kasi yung exponent natin dito, sinasubtract natin dito, di ba? So it will become 2 minus 1. And then yung constant, derivative of constant is obviously 0. Di ba? So it will become plus 0. So yung equation natin, now it will become, that is 10x. So x raised to 1 is just x. Then plus 0. So obviously, our derivative for this function is 10x. 10x. Okay, so doing the reverse, so ito na yung ginagawa natin sa integral calculus. So if we are given with the derivative, let's say 10x. So by integration, we can solve for the function y is equals to 5x squared plus 7. So paano naman to? So obviously, we don't know such for this case, no? So we have, tingnan natin. So kung i-integrate natin to, so obviously we can have this function. Okay? So we can solve for the function of this one. So however, the constant 7, yung constant natin dito will be replaced by c. Okay? So bakit c? So this is to give a more general solution or answer. Because the derivative of any constant number is 0. So we don't know what kung mag-derive kita di kag na, so plus 0 lang siya kung i-derive natin siya. Di ba? So in order to find the general solution or answer for this one, so we just use the c or k or the constant or the plus constant, that one. Okay, so muna siyang explanation. So this is because the derivative of y prime is equals to 10x. So the derivative of family of class of function form, that is y is equals to 5x squared plus k. And where k is an arbitrary constant. Okay, so pwede siya maging plus k, pwede siya maging plus c. So some books plus k, some books plus c. Okay, so we have here the symbols and notation for the integral. So in differentiation, we have d over dx. So this is the operator symbol, which means that we have to differentiate the expression that follows the symbol. Now for the integration naman, the operator will be yung parang snake, parang ahas. This is what we call the integral sign, dx. Or read as the integral of with respect to x, or simply the integral of dx. The integral of dx. So let us study the following integral which identifies the symbols and notation. So tingnan natin. This is the integral sign, and your 10x here is the given derivative of the unknown function, which is called the integrand. Okay? Ito yung integrand natin, yung 10x. And then dx, this is the differential of x, which tells that which tells what the variable of integration is. So pwede siya magiging 10p dp. So variable na niya ang p and your x here. Okay, so this tells what the variable of integration is. Then we have 5x squared. Ito na yung result. So this is the particular integral. Okay, this is the particular integral or your result of this integrand. Okay, so the constant of integration is your c here, or some books k, but popular c. Okay, so just use c. So sometimes this is the most ito yung kumbaga ini siya ang pinakakalimutan nila, yung plus c sa general solution, because this is a function. So obviously you should have a plus c here when integrating a number. Okay, so don't forget the constant. And then the total result, or 5x squared plus c, this is the unknown function or the indefinite integral. So we have two types of integral, no? So the definite one and the indefinite one. So the indefinite one, wala tayong limits, while sa definite one, meron tayong limits. So meron tayong upper limit, yung nandito siya na sign, and then meron tayong lower limit, yung dito sa baba. Nakikita niyo yan sa calculator niyo, no? Yung para may integral, then may box dito. Ito yung upper limit, then ito yung lower limit. Then pag i-input ka ng functions mo dito, then dx. Yan. Okay. So we have types of integral. Okay? So ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, which is the indefinite and the definite integral. So when you say indefinite integral, so this integral without limits of integration. And when you say definite naman, so these are integrals with limits of integration and with a definite value as answer. For example, we have this one. So this is indefinite. Wala tayong limits. So 10x plus 10x dx is equals to 5x squared plus c. So ito na yung final answer mo. But when you use the definite integral, depende sa given problem. So you have here your upper limit and lower limit. So that is 1 to 2. So meaning this is the integral of 10x ds from 1 to 2. Or we can solve this one by separating the two functions from the first limit, upper limit, minus the lower limit. So the same lang, that is 5x squared. So we just apply 5x squared. This is the, ito na yung result. Okay, this is now the result of your integrand here. But note that we have a lower limit and upper limit here. So we just substitute it for our x, no? Then subtract. Okay, so that is 5 or upper limit minus lower limit. Okay, so that is 5 times 2. Ito yung upper limit natin. Then quantity squared minus the lower limit. So the same lang. 5 times the lower limit, 1 squared. So substitute lang natin yung x pala. So substitute natin for lower limit minus upper limit. Upper limit minus lower limit. Yung sa x. Ito siya. That is 20 minus 5. So therefore, your 10x dx, integral of 10x dx from 1 to 2 is equal to 15. But without these limits, you can only have this one, general solution or general formula. So note that in the given example 1 and 2, these are called the limits of integration. Okay. So 1 is the lower limit and 2 is the upper limit. Then we have here the symbol, which means we have to evaluate or find the value of the expression before the symbol. So to evaluate, the upper limit is substituted first to the variable or variables in the expression minus the value obtained when the lower limit is then substituted. So I hope it is naintindihan nyo. So this is a very very simplified our modules is very simple simplified na siya. Okay, so next we have the basic formulas and principles. So we have two basic formulas here. We have the integral of a dx is equals to ax plus c, wherein a is constant. Okay, a is constant. And for the formula 2, f sub 2, this is the integral of x raised to n dx. So in this case, we have a power here, which is n, that is equal to x n plus 1 over n plus 1. Sa differential, dinasubtract natin kung may exponent. But here in integral, baliktad, we add. Okay, this is for n is not equal to negative 1. Okay, so note to check the validity of the formulas. So differentiate the right sides and see that their respective derivatives are the corresponding integrands on the left. So for checking, we use the differential calculus. Okay. So here is the proof. So for example, we have the d over dx. So this is the differential multiplied by ax plus c. So kung i-check natin, that is equal to, maka-cancel out to, di ba? So matitira na lang is a plus 0 because this is 0. Constant times derivative of constant is 0, di ba? So derivative of ax is just a. Okay? So derivative of ax is a, derivative of a constant is 0. So therefore, the derivative of ax plus c is just equal to a, or this is the integrand of your formula 1. So this proves that the integral of a dx is just equal to ax plus c. Yan. Then another one for the second formula, the same. So we differentiate the integrand, the value of integrand. So it is differential of x n plus 1 over n plus 1 plus d over dx. Differential of the constant, I mean. So this is obviously 0. And then if we derive this one, so that is, labas natin yung exponent, it is n plus 1 multiplied by x raised to n plus 1 minus 1. Di ba pag pag nag-derive tayo, nagpa-minus 1 tayo. So obviously magiging 0 to. Or matitira na lang is n plus 1 over n plus 1. Or ito, cancel out. So that will become x raised to n na lang yung matitira. So this is your integrand of the formula 2, for the formula 2 here. This one. Ayan. Ito siya, yung x raised to n. So this shows that the integral of x raised to n dx is just equal to x raised to n plus 1 over n plus 1 plus the constant c, for n is not equal to 1. So therefore, our first two formulas is correct. Okay, so correct sila. So these are the proof, no? Yan. So for the following illustrative examples, we use the formula F1 and F2. So for the formula 1, so let's check. For number 1, we have the integral of dx. So obviously, this is equal to x plus c na lang. So here, a is equals to 1, which is not written anymore. Di ba? Kung variable usually, a is equals to 1. Or this is just 1x or 1 plus c. Pero yung variable natin dito is x. dx kasi. So therefore, we use the x variable, then plus c. Kaya daw improper man ngayon mo siya nga 1x plus c. Di ba? 1x plus c. So we just simply write x or a plus c. So next we have 3dx. So obviously this is constant. So constant. So x na lang, variable. We have 3x plus c. Then for the integral of 1/2 dx, so copy lang natin yung constant. And then, lagay natin yung variable. Ito lang siya. Parang kinuha lang natin yung d sa gitna. Then nag-plus c tayo. For this case, we have 0.4x plus c. Then dito naman, we have square root of 2x plus c. So simple lang. Simple lang sa una. Okay? Sa una lang, simple. Next. So in these examples naman, so the variable x may be replaced by other variables like y, z, or p, bisan ano pa da. No? So some problems siguro you will encounter some z, some y, some p. So it's just the same. Okay, so variable na naglain. For example, we have here 3dy. So this is just equal to 3y plus c. Okay, and for this one, 1/2 dy. So obviously this will become 1/2 y plus c. Don't forget your constant. Permin na siya nalilimtan. Similarly, using z naman. So the same magyapon with examples 4 and 5 now. So integral of 0.4 dz is just equal to 0.4 c plus c. And so on. The same with this one. So for formula 2 naman, so this is the integral of x raised to n dx, which is equal to x raised to n plus 1 over n plus 1. So ito yung equivalent value natin. Okay. For example, we have here x squared dx, or the integral of x squared dx. So yung following this formula, yung exponent natin na n is ito, yung 2. So therefore, we have x2 or x squared plus 1. Ito, follow natin tong formula na to. All over by n plus 1. Yung n natin is 2, therefore it is 2 plus 1 plus c. Then, simplify natin. So x raised to 2 plus 1, that is x cubed, over 2 plus 1, 3. So ito na yung final answer mo. Then the same with this one. So y squared dy. So that is y 2 plus 1 over 2 plus 1. So hindi siya actually nga 2 gita. So depende sa given. So how about integral of p cube dp? So obviously yung n mo dito is 3. Kung ano yung power mo dito, yung exponent. So therefore that is p cube plus 1 over 3 plus 1. Or therefore, your integral of p cube is just equal to p raised to 4 over 4. Yan, plus c, of course. Ito yung ano mo. So it depends kung ano yung value ng n dito sa given problem. Okay? So how about variable mo naman is t. The same process. Okay, so just follow the formula for our integral. Okay, so how about this one? Wala tayong exponent dito. So obviously, imaginary, we have x raised to 1 here. So therefore, that is x raised to 1 plus 1 over 1 plus 1. Or that is x squared over 2 plus c. Okay, x squared over 2 plus c. Okay, so how about this one? So the same. Nagkaiba lang tayo sa variable. Okay. How about this one? X raised to 2/3. So just add 1 sa imo exponent, or that is 5 over 3. Or x raised to 5 over 3 all over by 5 over 3 plus c, or that is 3 over 5 x raised to 5 over 3. Okay? So pwede ni siya ma-inverse ha. Pwede siya ma-inverse. Okay, inverse natin para magiging instead of division, instead of fraction, magiging ano siya, like this one. So gin-inverse na ni siya, multiply ito lang, so that is 3/5 times x raised to 5 over 3 plus c. Yan. So the same with this one. So integral of y 4.5 plus 1 exponent as well, and so on. And the same as well for this one. For your exercises, okay, so this is part of your exercise 1, no? So self-evaluation exercise 1. I think it was already posted. Let me check. And may isa na nga nag-answer. Although the deadline is, I think next week yung deadline ito. May isa na nga nag-submit. Okay. So try to answer some exercises here. It's very simple. So you need to apply the Formula 1 and Formula 2 to solve these problems. So we have, I think, 10 problems. No? 10 problems. Okay, next we have the basic properties. So we are done with the 2 basic formulas. Now we will go to the basic properties naman of the integral. So for this case, we have the first property, p sub 1. So we have here the integral of c f c times the function of x dx. So obviously, pag nag-integrate tayo, yung constant pinapalabas natin. Okay, nilalabas natin yung constant dito. And then, yung i-integrate natin yung function of x lang. Okay? Once na na-integrate na natin yung function of x, saka natin i-multiply yung constant. Yan. So, P1 or property 1 states that the integral of any constant, c, times an expression in x given as f of x is equal to c times the integral of the function of x. So, for the property 2 naman, so this is just a parang sum, no? Sum of n expressions. So we have f sub 1 x, function of x sub 1, function of x sub 2, so function of, and so on. So depende kung ilan functions yan. So P2 or property 2 states that the integral of the sum of n expressions, namely f sub 1 x, f sub 2 x, or a function of x sub 2, and so on, is equal to the sum of the integral of each of the n expressions. So we have here illustrative examples for this case for our property number 1. For example, you have 3x squared dx. So note that this integral cannot be solved using either f1 or f2. Diba? Kaya may ara kita sang constant. Okay, may ara kita constant na 3. So what we will do here is, labas muna natin yung constant dito. Okay, labas muna natin yung constant dito. Tapos, saka natin i-integral or integrate yung function that is x squared dx. So, dito pa lang, ma-apply na natin yung formula 2. Okay, ma-apply na natin yung formula 2, which is, may 3 tayong constant dito. Yung integral nito, that is x. So, multiply natin, that is x. Yung n natin is 2 plus 1 over n plus 1, which is 2 plus 1. Okay? Plus c. Ito na yung integral ng x squared mo. Yung x squared mo, ito na siya. Or simplify natin, that will become 3 times, that is x cubed over 3 plus c. Then, solve, multiply na natin. You can have, cancel out to, magiging x cubed plus c na. So ito na yung general solution mo or general answer mo for this given integrand. Okay? Can you follow, guys? I hope so. You can follow. So this is, okay, so we have your remarks. So 3 times the x cubed over 3 plus c is equals to x cubed. That we only multiplied 3 to the particular integral x cubed over 3. So kung i-multiply natin, syempre magka-cancel out yung 3 dito. Diba? So matitira na lang is x cubed plus c. Yan. So this is because 3 times the constant, c is still a constant. So we can plainly use c instead of 3c. Yan. So hindi na natin nilagay dito yung 3c because multiply to, then multiply din to, distributive property of multiplication. It's still a constant. 3 times the constant is still a constant. So we just still use c na lang. Okay. Another example, it's the integral of 4.6 y dy. So the same process, yung constant natin, labas natin. So ito siya sa labas. Then integral of a function y dy. So yung y dy, ito na yung i-integrate natin using formula 2. Then that is y squared over 2. So divide na natin to. 4.6 divided by 2, that is 2.3. Y squared plus c. Ito na yung general answer mo. Questions, clarifications so far? Wala? Lahat naintindihan? Are you sure? Wala? Okay. Sige. So let's continue. So this is for the property number 2 naman. So let's try. So this is, meron tayong function 1 and function 2. No? This is the sum of function 2x and tsaka yung constant na 5. So initially, this integral cannot be solved by using formula 1 and 2 and property 1. So it is only the property number 2 that can be applied first. That is, separate natin. Okay? Using the distributive property naman of addition or associative property or distributive property. So we have here integral of 2x. So integral of 2, so this is just equal to integral of 2x dx plus integral of 5 dx. So pareho lang yan. Okay, pareho lang yan. Bale, sineparate lang natin yung dalawang function na 2x tsaka yung 5. So it's just the same. Okay, then we apply the property number 1. So constant natin dito is 2. Labas natin. So you will have 2 integral of x dx plus yung constant naman natin dito is 5. So labas natin. That is, tanong, ba't hindi dito nilabas? Okay, Formula 1. So Formula 1, this is obviously, integral of a dx is just equal to ax. So therefore, integral of 5 dx is just equal to 5x. So hindi na natin to nilabas. Okay, be careful Hindi na natin to nilabas. So obviously, you will have your 5x here. Then plus c. Okay, so you have your constant 2, nilabas natin because this applies for the property 1. Then for the second term naman, we apply the formula 1, which is this one. Okay, then may nakalimutan tayong plus c. Ayan. Okay, so may plus c tayo. So dalawang c to, may dalawang constant to kasi dalawang equation, dalawang functions. Okay. So here we have apply na natin yung formula, property number 1 for this case. So that is formula 2, formula 2 for this case. So we have 2 times the x squared over 2, that is 1 plus 1 over 1 plus 1. Okay, and plus 1 plus 1. So that will become, so cancel out to, it will become x squared plus c or k, and then plus natin yung 5x plus c sub 2. Okay, so this is the constant for the first term, then this is the constant for the second term. Or it's just the same. Constant man gyapon. Okay, so that is x squared now plus 5x plus the two constants. So your final answer is ito, x squared plus 5x plus c. Okay. So therefore, the integral of 2x plus 5 quantity dx is equal to x squared plus 5x plus c. Simple lang. P1, F1, then using F2, you can evaluate the integral of these functions. Okay. Okay. How about this one? We have 3 terms now. The first term, second term, and third term. So this cannot yet be solved using F1, F2, or P1. So we use P2 first, then the same process that we use this one. So let's check no. So i-separate natin muna. So first term, ito, 5x raised to 4. Then plus integral of 3x raised to 1 half dx plus, of course, the integral of 7 dx. Or this is just plainly 7x. So ito naman, labas natin yung constant. Ito, labas natin yung constant. Tingnan natin Ayun, nilabas nga. So we have first term, second term, and third term. Ayan. So here, we apply the first, formula 1. So dito naman, apply natin yung formula 2 for the first and second term. So that is x raised to 5 over 5 na. So makancel out yung 5. So matitira natin is x5 plus c1. Ito yung first term natin. Then dito naman, so the same process. So that is 3 over 2. Or that is 2, no? 2 na lang matira dito. That is 2 times x or 2x raised to 3 over 2. Ito siya, plus yung constant niya. And then yung 7x plus c3. Yan. And obviously, to simplify this equation, that is x raised to 5 plus 2x raised to 3 over 2 plus 7x plus c. Ito na yung final answer mo. This one. Okay, so following your exercises, we will use the F1, F2, P1, P2, or the combinations of these formulas and properties to solve these problems. No? So present step-by-step solutions indicating the particular formula or property being applied. So you can use, you can follow this, this parang template na pag-solve para at least may notes din kayo later on. if magre-review na kayo for your board exam, or if you can review your notes later on for your examinations. Okay, so we have here at least, I think, 10 problems. Ayun, so we have here again 10 problems for your second exercise. So this is included also for your self-evaluation exercise 1. No? So all in all, you have 40 points for your self-evaluation exercise 1. Okay. So we have here for numbers 9 and 10, as in number 7, we have to change the integrands using algebraic properties from their original into solvable form. So this is, ito yung medyo medium lang, kumbaga. Okay. Ito yung note din. So take note sa number 7. So first, minultiply siya, no? Minultiply siya. Distributive property siya. So makukuha mo yung ito. And then you have now your 3 terms to solve for the integrand of this one. Okay? Or integral nitong functions na to. So sum. So the same lang siya sa 9 and 10. No? Okay, questions, clarifications. I think we are done with our module 1. So meron pa tayong remaining time. I think siguro reserve pa yung remaining time for you to try to solve your problems, exercises. Okay? Although yung deadline nito is next week pa, March 8. Deadline is March 8. So try to solve using the remaining time sa ating discussion. So questions, clarifications before we end our discussion.